All right, it's good to go.
Yes.
Sweet. And I am booting up Diablo as we speak. Diablo 2 Resurrected.
Yes.
I'm going to scoot over to my...
I got a whiskey sour sitting right here, motherfucker.
Oh, sweet. I got an Angry Orchard cider.
Of course you do. Ooh.
Yeah, I forgot to pick up any sort of alcohol, and then Lauren ordered a bunch of alcohol to cover my ass for a grocery pickup, and because we have guests coming over tomorrow for Christmas Eve.
So you're gonna get them drunk. I see how you are.
Oh, it's our family, so we're gonna have like a handful of them drink. Yeah, but there was enough extra that I could kife for the show.
Nice. I didn't think this through.
Mm-hmm.
I went and I brushed my teeth about 45 minutes ago, and it doesn't go well with whiskey sours. Just so you know.
No, it does not, Jacob.
Richard.
Other than incredibly poor drinking decisions on your behalf, what are we here doing?
We're playing Diablo 2 Resurrected.
That's right, Diablo 2. For those who are listening for the first time, 1, bad choice. 2, extra bad choice. This is an unusual episode. Every year, to kind of ring out the end of the year, the beginning of the next, we do a kind of one-off standalone episode where we change up the format of the show. Usually every episode is us kind of like section by section playing through a Final Fantasy game and kind of summarizing the experience and the what we had, how we felt while we were playing it. But these episodes, we just pick some other random game and kind of play it live while record. Well, live while recording is an oxymoron, but kind of play the game and record while we're playing it, which is different from how we normally do it, and kind of discuss, the experience of playing these games while playing them, and to kind of keep it interesting, because a lot of times it would just be dead air and buttons clicking and swearing. Yeah. We also come up with lots of that. We come up with kind of our personal top 10 things of the year. It's kind of top 10 anything: movies, media, video games, music, a lot of toys for me usually.
P.S. Richard's idea.
Yeah. It's a fun thing. It's just a look back on the year while playing something irrelevant, or not irrelevant, like non-related to the show normally, and we have a good time. Audio quality is usually way less because our recording situation is very different from a normal episode.
Yes.
You're going to get background noise because we're actually playing the games while recording, unlike normally we would play and then we record. And, we're drinking, so deal with it.
Yeah.
Also, my wife is she's wrapping presents in the other room, so you might hear some sounds of packages being wrapped. So, deal with it.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, lots of things going on here all at once.
Yeah, it's a fun episode. If this is your first episode, I highly recommend listening to something else first.
Yes, definitely. Anything else, with the exception of the first 10 episodes.
Yeah, not that.
So, Jake, episode 0 is okay.
That one's a good one. Start with that.
Yeah.
Usually in the past in the past games we've done were the original Mario Brothers, Castlevania, Punch Out.
Yeah, we never made it past Piston Honda.
Mortal Kombat 1 through 3.
Yes, we never made it past like the 3rd or 4th stage in that either.
I know. We're last year we did Minecraft, and this year
a weird clusterfuck.
It was, but it was great. And this year we're doing Diablo 2, specifically the recent re-release of it, the resurrected version.
Yes.
This is sort of also different from our normal format, even for these once a year episodes, where we're usually playing from the beginning in those, and it's kind of either a first taste after a really long period of time, like 10 plus years, or first time ever. In this case, me and Jake have been kind of on and off, kind of plinking at this game for months, so not exactly the same as normal, but also we haven't played in a while, and it's a fun game, so we felt it was still appropriate.
But I don't think there'll be near as much swearing as like it was with Mario Brothers, because there was a lot of swearing in that one.
That's a fact. Mario Brothers, we were terrible at. But to be fair, in our experience playing this game so far, I die all the time. So I kind of anticipate.
And I don't.
Yeah, Jake's the one who kind of portals back to town and saves me. So it is what it is. Before we jump into Diablo 2, do you have any initial thoughts on the game that you kind of want to hit on, since we've played this a little bit already? Like, where are we in this? Kind of update people, like, if they have any familiarity with Diablo 2.
Well, right now we're pretty much at the beginning of Act 2 for the most part.
Yeah.
We're not like terribly deep into it. We did get past kind of some of the original rigmaroles of it. We've kind of settled into our characters a little bit at this point. They haven't been fully fledged out, but
I mean, yeah, at this point, if it's only Act 2, of course they're not going to be fleshed out fully yet. I'm playing an assassin, and Jake is playing I don't remember. Warrior?
You don't remember what I'm playing as?
I mean, I know you also have a necromancer, but...
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But right now I have a level 20 Amazon, so...
That's it.
She rips, I think, but that's just my opinion.
You tend to like lean into the range attack on it, and it works very well for you.
Yes.
Keeps you...
I don't die well with that.
So. No, you don't.
But,
so go ahead and set up, send me an invite. Let's get this shit going, man.
Okay, private. Okay, so I'll have to send you an invite in the aftermath after it gets created. Hey, no queue.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Big fan.
Before there was a queue.
I wonder if I can just jump in It's been a while since we did this.
Yeah, I mean, you can like join me. I know that much.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna try
without an invite.
Let's try that. That's what I'm gonna try to do. Now playing. Jacob is playing. It doesn't.
Well, I'm still loading too, so okay. I don't know if that matters. Okay, so now I'm finally in town.
Okay, cool. But aren't you in like a private match?
Yeah.
So I can't just jump right. I can't just jump in without an invite, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what I can do here.
Interesting early notes. This game, I can understand why it was really popular in the past. But it's still up in the air if I think it holds up. However, we're having a good time, but I also don't know what the fuck's going on story-wise. Nope, no idea.
I have a little bit about story because I played and beat the first one.
I know that the game is being narrated by some dude who was following a guy on a quest for vengeance, I think, and we're following them.
Well, so what happened is
it's like the game opens up with like some like former angel or something like that, right?
Yeah, I don't know how Tyrell fits into the mix. Okay, but so the end of the original Diablo, what happens is your character draws in the soul stone that is supposed to encase Diablo or whatever. Okay, and that is what he like draws him into this. Let me take a step back. He draws Diablo into the soul stone and then possesses the soul stone, and it's led to believe in this game that the stone is slowly corrupting him.
Okay.
So, hence the reason why we're starting to see a rise in the forces and everything. And apparently, there's like Diablo's brothers is involved in this and some other things. So, I don't know the full impact of that aspect. I just know in the original Diablo, you fought Diablo and ended up encasing him into a stone that you possess. I don't know if that stone is actually like part of you. I can't remember, but yes, that's where in lies the issues, so to speak. So
Fair enough.
So I'm gonna find out what I always like to find out what this lady's selling first before going out and getting
Makes
stupid.
Sense. I'm clearing out my inventory from the last time we played, like a month and a half ago.
Wow.
It's been a while.
Let's see, I got this. I'm pretty sure I have a badass. Yeah, I got some badass freaking armor now. At least for my level.
My gear is fine. Nothing particularly badass. Do I need this? A grand charm of dexterity.
They're kind of nice.
I mean, it is, but it also takes up 3 slots.
Why are you whining? That sounds like a whine to me.
It is. Yeah, I know what's what.
Yeah.
I'll hold on to it. It'll be fine.
Will it, though?
Maybe.
What's this? Oh, I have an unidentified ring. Come here, Decker.
Yeah. Let me dump some of this gear off. So, to get started on our top 10s for the year, this is kind of like, I don't know, vaguely in order.
Uh-oh.
But my number 10 is the Netflix Cowboy Bebop, which, of course, is canceled after 1 season.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, it did not go over well with a segment of the nerd community, which honestly completely baffles me. I have some ideas why it didn't go over particularly well that have nothing to do with the story or how well it adapted the original anime and everything. Like I think there are certain characters who are not hot in the way that they were in the other thing, and that really pissed off a lot of a certain type of fanboy. And stuff like that, but it wasn't exactly the same as the original. But I liked that. I liked that it was different in some ways, but at least I felt it channeled the original, like the vibe of the original enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I was into it, but not enough people were. So it's apparently not getting a second season. But for what we got out of 1 season, it was all right. Nothing's ever going to replace the original, so we still have that.
Yep, you have that going for you at least.
Exactly. The original is the best thing in the entire world, so the best anime of all time, arguably. So to try to remake that directly would have been fucking dumb and setting yourself up for failure. And,
Gotcha.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, but it still was good enough to kind of reach
the waypoint is here.
The waypoint? It's kind of middle to the center-ish, something like that. Okay. Yeah.
So, but your number 10 is Cowboy Bebop.
That's right, the Netflix Cowboy Bebop adaptation.
Gotcha.
Greetings.
So my number 10 is probably Snake Eyes, the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a pretty cool movie. The only thing I just wanted more content. That was my only real complaint. And I don't necessarily consider that a complaint. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a good show. And I'm looking forward to seeing more about it.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully, something comes of it. I didn't like certain elements of that movie that really turned me off, but I still hope it gets, it's not the end of G.I. Joe in theaters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Time will tell.
I think it's a better choice than some of the other G.I. Joes that they did. I didn't really like how fantastic, so to speak, they got with it.
Mm-hmm.
With some of the aspects, because I always kind of, and maybe it's my own interpretation of G.I. Joe that's getting kind of in the way a little bit here, but I always thought like G.I. Joe was a little bit more grounded than that, but maybe I'm just talking out of my ass.
I mean, in some interpretations it is. I always like it when there's like a mix of grounded and fucking goofy. So yeah.
Where the hell is this waypoint?
Over here somewhere. That's a good question.
Well, I think it's in that. I wonder if it's in the bar.
I don't think it's in the bar.
You don't think it's in the bar?
I don't think so.
Oh,
It's over here. I found it. Follow me just find where I am on the map.
Okay.
Loot Golan. Goline? Is that where we are? Is that the name of this town?
Maybe. Yeah, that's this place. The only one I have unlocked is the Dry Hills, so
I don't even know if I have the Dry Hills unlocked. I don't have the Dry Hills unlocked.
Wow.
So I gotta hoof it.
We're gonna have to go through the old school way.
Yeah, we gotta walk.
That'll teach you to try to buzz through the end, Rich, because you don't find the waypoints then, so you can't revisit.
Well, mistakes were made, and the cost will have to be paid in time.
And to get out is not where you're at. It's where I'm at, dude.
Oh yeah, because it moved since the last time. That's an interesting thing too. How like not only are the environments randomly generated, but the exit to the town changes too randomly.
Yep. Sometimes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Ooh,
fuck that.
They're fast.
Yeah, they are sand leapers. Ooh. Oh, that's right. I do my charge thing, and then I can do like an explosive kick to the face.
Yeah, kind of like Captain America a little bit.
That's right, but with like a literal explosion. So my number 9 is unofficial Transformers stuff. I had not picked up any in a really, really long time. But they were reissuing this company Gigapower not a long time ago, but like over 5-6 years ago, did a series of masterpiece scaled unofficial Dinobots.
Uh-huh.
And so I picked those up, and they're awesome.
Okay.
And it's like it's been a long time since I picked up any unofficial Transformer stuff. Mostly due to cost, but also interest, just because there wasn't anything that I really wanted. But I've been on a big Dinobot kick, and yeah, they're awesome. They're amazing. They're kind of like the best Dinobots I got my hands on, and they were well worth the stuff I had to sell to get them. So I'm glad to have them, and nice. it makes me more interested in paying attention to like the unofficial scene again of Transformers, because more than any other like nerd toy collectible, that scene is the most like active, I should say. And like I like to support official stuff whenever possible, but there is a lot of cool stuff in that scene, and most of it is outside of my what I'm interested in collecting, but it's cool to see. So like now it looks like a lot of that community is moving into like 2000s era Transformers stuff. So those familiar, it's like Transformers Energon and Armada and Cybertron stuff. And I never really collected that seriously, but I always thought it looked cool. So seeing people make high-end versions of those characters would be cool to look at on the Twitter, so to speak.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. Also, my kids think they're awesome and have to touch them every time they go through in our room where I have that stuff out. So I'm into it because they're dinosaurs, and my son's way into dinosaurs right now. Dinosaurs. My daughter also into dinosaurs. Oof, electrocuted. That's one thing we learned about walking around the environments in Act 2 outside the town. There's a lot of like enemies that do electrical attacks, and neither one of us are strongly defended against electricity right now. So we've gotten a lot of our asses kicked.
At least we did when we first started this area. Now it's not so bad, but
yeah, now I know to kind of like run in and get a couple punches and kicks and kind of like move away, and I watch more at my health more.
Right.
We reached a point in Act 1 where I stopped paying attention to that stuff.
And the game was very unforgiving of that at first.
Yes, it very much let me know. Oh no, I'm trapped between a bunch of dudes. Shit.
You're fine. What are you talking about, you whiner?
Well, I nearly died. I also leveled up, so I'm gonna throw some stats into a little bit into vitality, a bunch into dexterity, and something into strength. There we go.
A long time before I can level up.
That's true, because you're a couple levels higher than me. I just hit 18. So.
Yep, I'm up. So.
You're 20, right?
Yeah. Yep. The big 2-0.
Yeah.
I want an axe. Oh, what was that?
So what kind of rotation, like ability rotation, do you have in your characters right now? Like what kind of what are you doing?
My main one that I like a lot is when I can shoot, like right now I can shoot 6 arrows at one time.
Oh shit.
I also
that takes mana to use, right?
Yes. There's also a firebolt kind of flamed that I can do. There's also one with I think there's a charged bolt, so to speak, that I can do. And I don't know if there's. Okay, so that's a town portal. I don't know if this one does.
Oh. What was it?
But I got another passive ability apparently.
Oh, that's okay. My rotation, the way I'm playing, is mostly built around combos. Mm-hmm. So you build up, use these special attacks, and little orbs start circling around you based on what sort of attack it is. Mm-hmm. And then when I use a finishing move, it activates, there's a multiplier for damage in the finishing move based on whatever I was using for my primary attack. One of them will give me a healing bonus, one of them will do a fire attack explosion, and one of them will just be a damage multiplier. So it's just kind of what I need in the moment. Mostly I go for the fire because fire.
Yep, and I have some small status effect ones too. I'll freeze people, or I have an exploding arrow that does shit too. So
sweet. I think the explosion is good, because I assume that it does area effect, so other people in the way also get hit. I'm assuming. I don't have any evidence to back that up, but I get that vibe.
I'm led to believe the same thing.
Otherwise, if I'm doing a single target, I'm doing the bigger damage one, or if I'm starting to run low on health, which I always am, I do the one where I heal a percentage based on how many hits I get in first. So.
Right.
I also have a bunch of I have my secondary slots are all range attack. They call them traps. They're like the spells of an assassin. So one's like a boomerang bow that kind of goes back and forth. One of them's a grenade sort of thing, like a firebomb, and that sort of thing. One of them, I think, increases my critical ability, I think. One of them's like caltrops, but it does electrical damage.
Gotcha. I do notice that, in my case, I will slow them down with the arrows because they do have an impact. So
nice.
It's not like they just run right up to me and if they take a hit from it, it's gonna slow them down a little bit.
That's good.
Yep. So
I know one of my weapons I have equipped has a percentage chance to freeze an enemy.
Yep. And that's what I meant by status effects a little bit.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, and we have friends with us too. We've got some hired hands, so they assist with that. They assist us with a little bit as well. So
yeah, I'm into it. Do you have a number 9 for 2021?
The ever great, I thought was great when it came out. Back in April, Mortal Kombat.
Oh, the movie? I still haven't seen it. I really want to though.
Oh, It's I there's a lot. It's a we won't call it a. Here's a waypoint, by the way.
Oh, sweet. There, I got it.
Yeah. I'm not going to spoil it for you because there's a lot of cool things, but you got to remember to judge it on its merits. Okay.
Oh yeah, do its own thing. Yes.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a video game movie. Okay, and video game movies are never really well put together. Okay.
I mean, if I go into a Mortal Kombat thing, I think I'm mostly there to see some cool fights.
Yes, exactly. So
I want to see someone get frozen. I want to hear "Get over here."
Yep. And these.
I want to see someone do the splits and get punched and punch someone in the nuts.
Well, Johnny Cage wasn't in it, so.
Oh right, Johnny Cage isn't in this one, so there's no nut punches, which is a tragedy in its own.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Liu Kang doing the bicycle kick.
He's not in it. I don't think he's in there.
Really?
Wait, I think actually. I'm trying to think if Liu Kang's in it or not. I can't.
He has to.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Because Kung Lao is in it.
Yeah, and they're like brothers or cousins or something.
Yeah.
I want to see Raiden do the that thing where he like does that forward attack where he goes on electricity and just like shoots forward like a bullet.
Yep. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of cool things going on in it.
You got to do your signature moves, Ooh, yes. Stairs.
Yep.
I want to give the team who developed this props. Yeah. They managed to take a really old game and they made it look very pretty.
Yeah, they did. I think they did, like, as far as the movie was concerned. I mean,
I was talking about this game real quick. I was commenting. Okay. It still feels like a very old game, like from 2000, but it looks really good. So it's impressive they managed to thread that needle. Anyway, back to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. So like I said, there was a lot of cool things about Mortal Kombat that I really, really enjoyed. So that's why it got to be number 9 on the list.
Nice. So. We're still bumming around in the desert trying to. If I remember correctly, let me look at our quest log really quick just to say what we're doing. I know we have to find. The goal is to assemble the hieratic staff, and we need to find the cube, the shaft, and the headpiece. And so far, we found a piece of it, I think. I'm pretty sure we found at least part of it. So we're just looking to assemble this thing. And then when we assemble it, we have to go somewhere and use it for something. I don't know. It either gives us access to somewhere or helps us kill something. I'm just guessing based on how video games work.
It's
a key to go somewhere. It gives the ability to get something, or it's going to kill somebody. That's the
right.
My number 8 for 2021 is the Disney Plus show Loki.
You actually sat down and watched it, huh?
Oh, I watched it. I watched it immediately when it was coming out.
Okay.
That goes. There's
a couple other shows that you still haven't watched yet that are.
I know. I think anything that I can get my wife interested in watching, I'll probably watch right away. And that's part of the reason why Loki ends up on the list. Because, one, I love the character. And two, it's like a thing I watch with my wife. And so, anytime, we actually have the time and are able to sit down and share, viewing experience or something like that matters. That kind of raises something's level a little bit to me. And
I think there's a waypoint down there, by the way.
I think you might be right. I think we've been in this tomb.
Have we?
The Halls of the Dead? Yeah, I think we've already been in there. So, okay. Also Loki, I think it was good.
He's a great actor.
He's anytime seeing him act, he's an excellent actor, top tier. I love the character. I enjoyed the development of the character in the show, and introduced the Sylvie character, who I absolutely adore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think I might like her even more than Loki.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, I really like her. I like the costume too. I think it's a really cool costume. I would see myself more likely to dress in her outfit than I would in his traditional one, because I like the kind of like the little crown horn thing.
Yeah, his horns are a little ostentatious.
Yeah,
so.
it's a little more slimlined. I think the cloak looks really cool.
Ooh, what's this?
So yeah, and just it kind of opened up the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a direction that clearly the movies are working with. If you've seen Spider-Man and you know where Doctor Strange is going,
I need to see Spider-Man. I have not seen it yet.
I did see Spider-Man. It was a good time.
Wow, you saw a movie before me. Note this date in history.
Well, I used to all the time, and then I had kids, so it's much harder now. That was just a luck of circumstance, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, Loki. It's my number 8 of 2021. Good show. I know a lot of people were not as into it. Like, it kind of seemed like I was hearing a split online. It was mostly people who were just way into the character, who were way into seeing more of the character being the character. But a lot of other people just not giving a shit and thinking it's boring. And like, I don't share that at all. But
no, not by any means.
Yeah, I can understand that. Like with most of these nerd things, there's always a little bit of a split. So I was way into it. Glad I saw it. Looking forward to more.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I named my cat after the character. So like,
did you really name it, or did she name him?
I suggested it. Yeah, it was my suggestion.
Okay, I had to call you on that one a little bit.
I'm pretty sure it was my suggestion. The cat named himself. He's a little troublemaker. He lives up to the name 1000%.
Funny. No, my number 8 is actually this game.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I really like it. I mean, I'm enjoying it thus far. It's good stuff.
No, it's been a good time. I wish we, if we were in a different phase of our lives, we would have beaten this thing multiple times over by now.
Yeah.
But with your work schedule and my dadding schedule, it's just not. It's very difficult to play it off.
To the situation.
Yeah. But no, it's been a really good time. I'm glad I bought the pack that the digital copy that also included Diablo 3.
Yep.
So when we finished Diablo 2 enough, we're going to be jumping right into 3, which I'm really stoked about.
Okay, so we've been there.
We've been there. You can talk about this game a little bit more, but I need to stop for a second so I can go grab another drink.
No.
Yes, I'll be right back.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting facets in comparison from this game, from the first to the second. Great game, by the way, if you didn't know. They've pretty much just expanded upon everything from the first game that was introduced. A lot of cool features, a lot of unique items and things along those lines. You never come up with the same item, which is kind of a cool. I think it's a kind of a cool thought. It's always just a little bit different in one capacity or the other, and it definitely keeps you on your toes. The levels always change, so it's not the same thing. You're not walking into the same room attacking the same enemies. They kind of mix it up a little bit in that capacity. The bosses are the same, but the game itself, sometimes they'll sprinkle a different enemy here or there in a level that you haven't worked with before. And they do recycle some of the enemies that you encountered in the first one, I've noticed. But a lot of it is just everything's just blown up and expanded in comparison to the first Diablo. So, and I have thoroughly enjoyed every bit of it. It's a lot of concepts and things that I never considered that they're doing and expanding upon and introducing. One thing is like the jewels. The jewels are a cool concept and idea. Because this way it adds a little more customization to the weapons and what you're using. Never would have thought of something like that. So you could actually tailor a weapon or a piece of armor to the way you work or the way you like things. So very, 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 very cool. Very, very interesting ideas to address. So
Yeah, I think any game that you're able to I like that kind of RPG style where you can add things to weapons to change their stats and attributes and stuff like that.
Yep.
I think early on, so far, it feels like this game maybe it's very much a loot game where it just drops thousands and thousands of items and 99% of them suck.
Right. Well, I mean, we've got a little bit of that going on here. It's just not necessarily 99%. It's like, I would argue it's like 85 or 90. But.
All right, I'm back. We can start looking for our next area.
Oh, okay.
Interesting disclosure we haven't mentioned yet. It is December 23rd, the evening before Christmas Eve. So I was just talking with my wife and prep for Christmas Eve tomorrow. You know what I'm doing? I have a new responsibility this year, which is slightly intimidating.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, usually my father-in-law cooks a brisket, and he cooks it overnight, smokes it, and it's delicious and awesome. Well, unfortunately, I've now inherited that duty. I just recently finished assembling my grill from last Christmas. And,
oh man.
Yeah, it has a smoker attachment, and then I was told, hey, guess what? You're going to be smoking the brisket this year. So tomorrow morning, I'm waking up at 6 a.m. and starting to smoke the brisket so it's ready by Christmas.
Hey, it's an intriguing concept.
Yeah.
My dad does smoke turkey, but same idea.
Yeah, same idea. It's just you got to do it for over a really long period of time and really control that heat. So.
Oh well, don't forget you got to keep it. You don't want to get too dry either. So.
Oh yeah, I'm aware. I've been talking with my father-in-law a lot over the last 2 days about what to do and what temperature you got to keep it at. And they're coming over tomorrow anyway, so we'll probably talk over some things about what needs to be done. Do you think we have to go through the Hall of the Dead to get where we're going?
Well, usually, that's what my inclination was, because usually they wouldn't make it a waypoint then.
Oh, good point. Okay, let's work our way through the Hall of the Dead.
Yeah, I'm just making sure there wasn't anything else that I'm missing, which I think we've pretty much got everything. Ooh, there's a chest here. But, arrows. I might be able to use those. Let's see. How am I doing on arrows anyways? Oh, I use bolts, not arrows. Stupid man. What the fuck was I thinking? I don't use bolts.
Get it together, Jake.
Yeah, I suck again. So.
Jake.
Rich.
My number 7 for 2021 is X-Men comics continuing to be fucking awesome and exciting.
Oh, yeah?
It's been the last couple years, ever since the current era of X-Men comics has started, commonly referred to as the Krakoa era or the Jonathan Hickman era. Jonathan Hickman is the writer who kind of spearheaded this new direction and everything like that, and has worked as the equivalent of a showrunner. Sort of, for the X-Men books. They're written by a whole bunch of different people, and a whole bunch of people do it, but he was kind of one of the kind of almost like a story director, so to speak, for the line. And it's just been awesome ever since he started. His final story in this era is actually ongoing right now. It's called Inferno. It's 2 issues in so far, and it's great so far. And I'm looking forward to what happens when he's done. I don't know, but I don't like it, Jake. I don't like it.
I don't like that thing that's shooting fireballs at us.
I don't like a lot of the things that are happening right now. There's fireballs and bombs, and there was a green monster. But yeah, the X-Men books are really good right now. They're actually kind of finishing up the current era right now. Once Inferno's done, it's going to be pretty much... Next month they're only doing one X-Men book all month, and it's X Live, X Deaths of Wolverine, and it's some sort of time travel tale that's kind of setting up the next sort of phase in X-Men books. And let me tell you, I'm loving the current era of X-Men books, and I kind of like Wolverine's place in it. And now I get a month-long Wolverine-centric tale that is kind of leading into the next era. Like, fuck yes, is all I gotta say about that.
There you go. Yeah. Cool things. Identify, spear, saber, all this other crap. Okay. Helm. But yeah, my what are we up to? 7?
Yep. Oh, if I had one last thing to say, this current era of X-Men books, as it's kind of ending and getting into the next one, if I had to pick my favorite, now that they're all kind of wrapping up and creative teams are shuffling and new books are launching, I think the one I was enjoyed the most is Hellions. It's a team led by Mr. Sinister, of all motherfuckers, and it's a team of like outcasts and fuck-ups, continuing to be outcasts and fuck-up. They were like all put on a team. They were all put on a team as like a way of like trauma management and therapy in hopes to get over like kind of like issues that they're having. And Mr. Sinister mostly just used them to do horrible things. And it's been an overwhelmingly awesome book. I'm excited to see what happens with those characters next. I never thought I would give a shit about Nanny and the Orphan Maker and fucking Wild Child of all people. Or the former Scalp Hunter, now Grey Crow, because Scalp Hunter is kind of a loaded term now.
Bitch.
It's honestly, it was mostly a team outside of Havoc and Psylocke, full of people that I've never really given a shit about, and it made me care about all of them. And some of my favorite moments of the last couple years of X-Men books has been these idiots, like, in their antics. So, looking forward to the next phase. Anyway, you're 7.
Yep, my 7 is a show called Letterkenny. I love Letterkenny so much. It is amazing. I can't get enough of that thing. That show. I highly recommend if you can get past the first like 3 episodes. The first 3 episodes are not that great, okay? But once it finds its stride, kind of like us, it turns out to be really cool, okay?
That is kind of like a damn Chocobo thing. Suck a lot and then continue to suck, but in a different way.
Yeah.
But be entertaining. I have not watched a full episode of Letterkenny. However, Jake has been telling me about.
You tit fucker.
Jake has been telling me about this show forever, and I keep kind of tangentially hearing other people talk about how it's fucking awesome and hilarious. And at some point, like I just saw a meme online that made me pee myself because I was laughing so hard. And Jake was like, "You know this from Letterkenny, right?" And I'm like, "Fuck, really?" So I had to like YouTube it and a whole bunch of scenes. And they were all very, very, very funny. And so it's absolutely something that when I have more freedom to watch whatever the fuck I want, whenever I want, I will absolutely do so. Mm-hmm. Or when I don't, when my pile of things that are like I'm desperate to see like slims down a little bit. But yeah, it seems like a must watch if you like that kind of humor. I'm surprised you enjoy it because that sort of humor used to annoy the shit out of you.
Yeah, it's very, very snappy. Okay, and you have to watch it a couple of times to pick up everything that they're doing, and there's a lot of it that's actually pretty intelligent. Like they have some pretty good conversations too.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like at first glance it could be argued that they're like what's the word kind of like jackass a little bit, but then they really start like. Get towards the like they really start having some intellectual conversations, so it actually gets kind of interesting. So, but yeah, it's hilarious. Shorzy is hilarious to listen to because his jokes are just amazing. the thought that comes into him. I can't think of anything off the top of my head right at the moment as far as one of his jokes, but his phrase is "Give your balls a tug, you tit fucker."
Like that's the sort of thing that like
This is
I am surprised.
This is how a real man sports a piss. Give your balls a tug, you tit fucker.
The how a real man sports a piss and then fires it from like 10 feet away. That's the thing I saw like a meme online. I was like, what the fuck is this? But it's hilarious. It was a freeze frame of the guy who's getting like peed next to just being absolutely horrified, and I found it very funny in the moment. Still find it kind of funny.
Yes. Well, there was another one I shared with you. I don't know if you ever got it, but it's the same scene, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But it has Cyclops and Wolverine's taking the piss. And Cyclops is turning around looking at him.
Doing the horrified thing.
Yeah. I thought I shared it with you, but maybe you didn't. I don't know if you ever got it.
God damn.
But it was great. Yeah. Okay, so that's where we came.
Oh, all right.
So
I think go back to the other room. There's a path.
Yeah.
At least I thought there was. There it is.
I love how they crowd that door. You can just bottleneck them.
Yeah. I think that's the smart play. I kind of dig that there's like a vague horror-ish vibe to Diablo.
Well, I mean, it is
like before I played it. That's kind of all I knew about Diablo was like the aesthetic, and I think it's cool. I like how everything looks spooky and creepy and kind of gnarly looking. Letterkenny, good choice.
Yes, Letterkenny is amazing, and they've got season 10 coming out like here in a couple of days.
Oh shit! Still?
Yeah,
they're still kicking it. Wow.
Yep, like champs, and it's going to be very, very interesting to say the least. Because there was a lot of interesting things that happened in season 9.
Oh yeah. So, how many episodes per season are there usually?
6 usually.
6? That's not much.
A little bit more. No, not at all. And especially when they're only 30-minute episodes. So.
I'm overburdened.
Hey.
Overburdened.
Guess what I found?
Waypoint, bitch.
Yeah. Rich is overburdened.
I am. Hey, since we got a waypoint, I'm going to use that and head all the way back to Loot Goling and sell off a bunch of shit.
He's gonna drain the snake.
Well, I not yet. I'm not going to break the seal quite yet. Moving on to cool things of the year.
Yep.
My number 6 is Fortnite. And
of course it would be.
Yeah, it's kind of a double reason thing. Like one, the only reason I gave Fortnite a shot is because one day I was randomly flipping through Twitter, and no, it wasn't even Twitter. It was I got an email from Hasbro's toy shop, and they're like, pre-order Fortnite Snake Eyes, and I was like, wait, what? And like, what? And they're like, they're basically like advertising or pre-order for a Snake Eye, a Fortnite, a toy of the look that Snake Eyes has in Fortnite. And I was like, when the fuck did he go in Fortnite? And they're like, and download the new skin that's available today in Fortnite. And I was like, oh shit, okay. So that very night, I downloaded Fortnite and bought the skin, and I didn't regret it. I had heard of Fortnite, but mostly from children. Right. Like from what it sounded like, it was very popular with children. But I played it, and I kind of got this impression that I was beating the shit out of children. And while wrong, I also felt like it was good that I could win something, so I kept playing. I got better, and so I'm no longer playing against children, so I get my ass kicked a lot. But I had a fun enough time that for my I think mid last year, I started playing, having game nights with one of my old friends named Lindsay. Mm-hmm. And we were kind of looking for something new to play at that point, and I suggested Fortnite, and she got into it too. And so it kind of became one of the games that we've regularly played on and off for most of the year. And so so
you sucked her into it, did you?
I did. Me? And so now she gets her husband, and they have like a game night with their friends on Friday nights. And so sometimes they have Fortnite nights now, and it's all because I was just suggested it arbitrarily to Lindsay one night we should do it, and now they all play, and now she plays it more than I do, and so it's really funny that worked out that way. I did not anticipate that at all. I thought I was going to have to pull teeth, and no, it worked out. Yeah, and but I'm glad it worked out the other way, because I like to have things I play with Jake and things I play with other people, and it's a lot like kind of like how we used to play games to stay in touch, and that's kind of like what I do with her, and so it just made it more, made me like the game more, because you play something with somebody that you like, or do something with someone that you're close with. It makes it more of an enjoyable experience, kind of like we have here with Diablo 2. And I had that experience with Fortnite. Gotcha. And I could also kind of tag on the game It Takes Two, because that's a game we've been bouncing back and forth with between Fortnite and that. So it's basically game night with Lindsay starring Fortnite. But also It Takes Two is also a really good game, and if you have someone to play it with co-op, it's a pretty entertaining experience.
Okay.
You also have to deal with a divorce narrative and a child dealing with that, which is kind of a little bit emotionally heavy, but everything's mostly done with a comedic tone, so it's entertaining.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Fortnite. Snake Eyes in Fortnite. Okay. Good game.
Snake Eyes on Fortnite. Okay.
Yes. But It Takes Two was like a bonus thing I'm tagging on there. That's the name of another game, because I'm playing it that same night and back and forth. Like one night we'll play Fortnite, and then another night we'll play It Takes Two instead. Like we switch like every couple Sundays which one we're playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Also, Fortnite has some nuts lore. Like, I had to like kind of look it up and watch a YouTube video breaking it down, but it is crazy. Also, in the last year, they've added the Predator, Ripley, and the Xenomorph, Batman, Deathstroke, Harley Quinn. Like, it's literally just this giant catch-all of a bunch of like pop culture shit that is kind of, there's something for everyone. I just wish all that stuff was always available, but it's usually they rotate the store out every couple days or weekly or something like that. So while there might be a really cool character or skin that a person might want, if you don't catch it during the window when it's on the site, you lose it, and that kind of sucks. Like, you don't lose it. You don't lose it. You just don't. You don't get an opportunity to buy it until it comes back. I mean, they're up for a limited time, and then they rotate in and out.
Yeah, because I still am. I haven't done it, committed thought to action yet, but I was interested in Jean Grey.
And I don't even. I haven't looked, but I don't know if that skin is still up anymore. Like, it may have rotated out already.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So okay. I thought you actually like acquired her like skills and shit.
No, I mean, not really. There's usually you'll get an equipable skill with it or something like that. They're usually like items. Like I have a Venom, and Venom has some unique animations and stuff like that. Ghost Rider, I have. He has everyone. In addition to being a shooter, there's also like a melee weapon you get, and Ghost Rider has his chains for a melee weapon. Snake Eyes came with his sword as a melee weapon, like that sort of thing. Venom has like a claw sort of thing that only he can equip as a melee thing, and like a glider that's exclusive to him. It's like a symbiote sort of thing.
Okay.
I do like that. When I bought Ghost Rider, he came in a pack with the Ghost Rider skin, the Ghost Rider chain weapon, and there's gliders in the game. Gliders are how I don't know if you know how Fortnite works. Is you fly over an island and then you parachute onto the island, but you drop down with some sort of glider that's there's default ones like umbrellas and stuff like that you get in the beginning, but you can get unique ones too. And Ghost Riders is his motorcycle. So you just slowly parachute down to the island riding a flaming motorcycle, and it's pretty awesome.
Huh. But interesting. So Fortnite.
Yeah.
For me, I think my number 6 would have been the Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League. That was. I really enjoyed that.
That legitimately, that's on my list of things that almost made the cut but didn't quite.
Gotcha.
I did not like the original Justice League at all.
I wasn't. I mean,
I didn't hate it. I just thought it was kind of empty and soulless, and I don't even really like Zack Snyder's take on these characters. But, and I'm stealing I just totally stomped all over your pick. But I kind of was won over because he has, like, when I saw what happened to those without him, it was like, oh, this has no soul. And while his version's direction is not the direction that I'm interested in or view these characters, he at least has, like, a take. He has an opinion. And the way it went without him was just so empty, soulless, no real thought or opinion behind it. It just cut out everything that made his things, like, worth watching. Oh, fuck.
Where are you at? Did you make the jump?
Yeah, I thought you had followed me.
Nope. I'm sitting there just buzzing around town.
I'm bottlenecking a bunch of monsters in the tomb.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I liked it a lot. I liked the take on it. It was interesting. And I will agree that I feel that Joss Whedon just kind of stripped a lot out of the original or what Zack Snyder was doing and the direction that he was taking. And I'm not entirely comfortable with it because of the color. One of the big things was the color palette that I'm just not feeling in Joss Whedon's.
They saturated everything, and everything in that was everything in Snyder's movies are designed to be desaturated. So the colors that they make the costumes are not the colors that they're intended to be viewed as.
Yeah. So it was definitely, like, off-putting.
Yeah.
Having two different color palettes put together like that. So.
And you can tell, like, the new stuff that was filmed with him. You could tell the actors weren't feeling it.
Yeah.
But you could, like, just
the guy that played Cyborg. I can't remember his name, but he wasn't having it. So
I think Ray Fisher.
Yeah, that's his name. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could even see, like, an Affleck. Like, Affleck's putting his, he's doing his job, but also there's just a certain vibe of, like, everyone's just deflated.
Yep.
Like, they're putting in their, they're doing their roles, they're doing what they're supposed to, but, like, there's you can tell when someone gives a shit about their performance and feels the words they're saying or whatever, and nobody did. So
yeah, it just didn't. It was just missed. Like I said, I feel it was gutted, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
and while I don't like it, definitely, like, I absolutely hated Batman versus Superman, and even seeing the director's cut didn't turn me on it. But, like, after a while, I went back to those, and I still don't like them, but I appreciate what. Anytime somebody has a take and there's an artistic there's artistic choices made, and I can feel that they're making artistic choices, I can respect it, even if I don't necessarily like it. And that's kind of where I came to on those. And I feel the same way about Justice League, where there's vanilla ice cream, and then there's Rocky Road, and he is not a Rocky Road, or he's a Rocky Road director. He's not a vanilla. He's if you put that guy on a thing, he's not just gonna give you the thing. he's going to give you what he feels he's going to give you, and I
Right.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I like.
I think I do think there's a time and a place for a creative like team to kind of determine a direction, and you have a director do what the studio needs or wants.
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciate that he had a different thing,
Yep.
He's going for something else. That's fine. It definitely felt bigger too, like not just longer, bigger.
Yeah, it was more grander, epic.
Yeah. I mean, you say what you will about that dude, but he knows a lot of guys with just crazy muscles. So.
I'm anxious to see. Like, there's been talk. I haven't. I cannot confirm or deny, but just talk of a potential sequel to it. So.
Yeah. I feel like at this point, Warner Brothers is committed to going a different direction, and Flashpoint is going to kind of reset that universe. So I think it's kind of dead in the water. I'd be shocked if they went back, but if they did, I'd give it a look.
I just saw some news on it and whatnot. So
yeah. Oops. I know there was a period of time when where I wanted things like when I was younger, and it's like, why don't they just do exactly what's on the comic book page? And I'm like, well, if I wanted what's exactly on the comic book page, I could just read the comic,
Yeah.
You're not going to do what's on. If you try to do something that's exactly the same as it is on the page, all you're going to be doing is a copy, and it's never going to be better than the original.
Nope.
It's not possible.
There's nothing wrong with taking I like what they do. What they're doing now is what they take a lot of the original content and then they do a play on it.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think, I like I've always said, as long as the spirit is there, I'm okay with it. And while I think he misses the mark on a lot of things,
I don't like
the interpretation
of Batman at this point, but whatever.
I think Wonder Woman's pretty cool. I think like Superman, I did not like how he got where he. There are elements of how Superman went, but at the end of the day, I kind of like where it was going, so I was okay with it.
I'm not.
I know you don't like Superman, so.
Yeah, I don't like Superman that much. But yeah, they definitely push the norms on a lot of that. Like a lot of the integrity of the character, so to speak.
I'm okay. Like there's nothing wrong with being different, just as long as there's a taste of it.
Right.
Wow. My wife has been cleaning up the kitchen, and
she's a champ.
We have guests coming over. I know, and she just showed me an area that has traditionally been a gigantic mess, and it looks stunning right now. I'm kind of a little bit of like jaws agape. I cannot tell you how much this woman has been putting in a lot of work in the kitchen today. And not cooking, just cleaning shit. Organizing. You know how everyone gets like, you have a junk drawer, or in our case, junk like shelves that just pile up with shit and just get messy and messier and messier as you just start shoving more and more shit there. And you're like, one day I'm going to organize these. And most of us never do. You just go to your grave with this pile of shit.
Nuts.
Oh my God. Just skeletons everywhere.
You got this asshole down here that's trying to resurrect them.
I don't think so. But yeah, she's been just working her ass off in the kitchen, cleaning up like disorganized shelves and stuff. So we have a couple medicine shelves with medicines and stuff like that. That was a disaster that's now dealt with. Oh, Blackheart the Impaler is about to be a corpse. Now he's dead.
Rock on.
You thought you were big, but now you're just dead. Any other thoughts on Justice League? I have a thought. Their redesigned Batman costumes for the Snyderverse seems like they just get progressively worse.
I'm not a fan of the emblem that they used for Batman there.
And what I mean is, I love the Batman versus Superman costume. I think that's the best Batman costume in the history of film. It's awesome. And then at the beginning of Justice League, he has a modified version of it, which is less good. And then late in Justice League, he gets another costume, which is even worse. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Go back to the Batman versus Superman one, please. It's so much better.
But yeah, I like I said, I'm not totally sold on that. I didn't like the emblem that they did. I thought they could do better.
It's reminiscent of the Dark Knight Returns.
Gotcha.
So it's very big. That's a very big and fat emblem that Frank Miller drew for that. So it's a take on that, just a little more angular and pointy. Oh, dude, I don't know where you are, but I'm running into a bunch of dudes.
You went you took the other one instead of the one I took. Rich has got some fight.
Yeah. I'll just wait for you to get here. I killed a bunch of them. Oh, one's back.
Ooh, another boss in here. Really? I picked up that much crap? I can't believe that. Okay. Oh, I don't know why I picked this stupid thing up. There we go.
My number. Oh, yay, money.
Yeah.
My number 5 of 2021 is the Hong Kong company 30's collaborations with Hasbro. And over this last year or so, the toy company Hasbro has really kind of opened the doors on licensing out their brands. They're the guys who own G.I. Joe, Transformers, Power Rangers, and the like. They never licensed that stuff out for a really long time, and they kept it internal. And over the years, they've been becoming a little bit more lax about licensing stuff out to people who do products outside the scope of what they do, because they do stuff you pick out at Target, but they're not going to do high-end stuff really. So 30 is a Hong Kong company who does high-end collectibles, and they started doing their takes on some of Hasbro's brands. They did 1/6 scale G.I. Joes, 1/6 scales Power Rangers, and I picked up a couple of that stuff this year, and it's all way cheaper than the competitors in that scale, half the price or less.
Wow!
They do Power Rangers. Your average 1/6 scale figure these days is several $100s. It's absurd.
Okay.
When I started collecting that stuff, it was around 100, and they did their Power Rangers less than that, which is insane, absolutely insane.
It's pretty intense.
It's absurd. The value that they offer in that scale is more than anyone else in the entire market. It's absurd, and the fact that it's the first time that Power Rangers have ever been offered in that scale.
Sure.
Yeah. I did not buy the whole set because I cannot afford them.
Well, why not?
Even at that lower price range, but I did get the Red Ranger
and the champion, Rich.
I did get the Red Ranger and the Green Ranger, and they're very, very good. I'm jealous of the people who can afford. They did a box set of all 6 season 1 Rangers, and it looks awesome when they're all displayed. But even at the cheaper rate that they sell these things, when you're buying 6 of those, that's still a massive amount of money. But
gotcha.
Even just having 1 or 2, they look excellent. They display great. You put them right next to something that cost triple the cost, and they look just as good. It's amazing that they can do something at that at that scale, at the cost that they do it, and make it look just as good at what their competitors are doing. And they're doing a licensed property, so they still got to pay a licensing fee. Like I don't know how they're doing this magic. It's absurd. Their Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow they did this year, absolutely excellent. I actually had Sideshow Collectibles did a Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. They did 2 Snake Eyes actually and 2 Storm Shadows, and I owned all of them at different points. And I ended up selling off both Storm Shadows because this Storm Shadow beats the shit out of both of theirs. And their Storm Shadows came out like one came out like 8 years ago, one came out 6. This one came out this year, is cheaper than both of those were years ago when they released, and is better.
Wow.
Or at least comparable. I would argue one of those, the head is better than both of them. The body is maybe comparable to the second Sideshow Collectibles one, but it's really, really good. It's just they're doing an excellent job. I've been kind of on and off collecting products from this company for a while now because they've done like Mass Effect and Dead Space, and they did the modern movie Ninja Turtles. And they're all really good stuff, but ultimately I ended up selling that stuff off because while it was good, it always felt a little off, like a team of people trying their best to produce some high quality stuff, but they're just not quite hitting the level of their competitors. And now they're at the same level and in many ways succeeding. Like it's excellent to see. And they're not even speaking about their Transformers stuff, which is also really good, but I can't even buy nearly as much as that as I would like to. But it's the few I've gotten, all really, really good. They're just big die-cast robots. They have LEDs in them, and they look really good. Like I don't know, they've done a bunch based off the Bayverse movies, which I'm not crazy about Bayverse, so I don't the Michael Bay ones, I should say.
I call him the ruiner of franchises, but yes.
Yeah, like I'm not crazy about his Transformers take, so I don't have a ton of those. But I did pick up the ones they did based on the Siege design, Transformers Siege designs that they ended up doing Netflix shows on, and they're really, really good.
Well, Rich, I think I don't know where else we're supposed to go here. I think we picked up this cube. I think you had it right.
Yeah,
I just don't think we got the waypoint. So,
where's this cube?
I think we already got it.
Okay, I was like, I don't have a cube in my inventory.
No, I think we got it already. As far as
oh, right, we did it in the story. Right. Okay. So we just fought our way through this dungeon for no reason.
Well, we got a lot of XP from it.
That's true. Do you want to just portal back to town?
I'm making my way back right now already.
Did you portal or are you walking?
I'm walking.
Oh, shit. Okay, I better catch up. I'm on level 2.
You can portal yourself if you want to, but...
How far are you?
I'm on level 1 now.
Oh, shit. Okay. I'm on level 2.
I wonder what's over there. Because we never did check that, it doesn't look like. Maybe I'm just...
I'm almost to go up these stairs. Now I'm on level 1. Okay, yeah, I see you now. I'm running over to catch up to you. Good lighting. Just impressive lighting.
I'm overburdened, Rich.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, because we didn't explore what's in here at all.
One of these days, we're going to do a musical episode and sing some songs. And we're going to write an original song called Overburdened. And we're going to put it to the tune of a Breaking Benjamin song. And it's going to be a huge hit.
I am over. Oh, yeah. It's going to be I Am Overburdened.
All right, Hollow One. Eat it. Happy holidays.
Yeah. Merry fucking Christmas.
Santa brings you your gift. Death.
the hell are hatchet hands? Huh. Goofy. Let's see here.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's just keep heading out of here then.
Okay. My number 5, good sir, is Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show.
I really enjoyed that, and I still haven't finished it.
Wow. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But
yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I can't argue with the taste. I don't have any complaints about it.
I'm waiting outside the dungeon.
Oh, aren't you just a champion?
Mm-hmm.
The fight that they have in it, the one between I love the introduction of U.S. Agent. I think that's a cool. Wait, I just went back to level 2. Where's level 1 at? Yeah, you fool. The introduction of U.S. Agent, I don't know a lot about that character, but I was very intrigued by a lot of the things that were introduced.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot of concepts with Captain America, like the legacy of Captain America and how these guys are dealing with that. Is an interesting concept.
Yeah, that is.
I was very surprised that I expected the Winter Soldier to retire along with Cap, just because of the closeness of the relationship and the fact that he retired. I mean, I understand why Cap retired from Endgame, but I would have figured that he would have joined him just on principle. So
I can see why one would think that. Yeah.
So just because the relationship was so close between the two of them, and he's trying to kind of guide Falcon with that. So, and the fight that they have there between those three, U.S. Agent, Falcon, and Winter Soldier, is incredible. I thought there was a lot of emotion. It reminds me a lot of, and even some of the music in there reminds me of Civil War. Ooh, what the heck happened there?
That makes sense. Are you out of that dungeon? I'm waiting for you, man.
Oh yeah, I am.
Oh, did you just blow past me then? Like, where'd you go? Oh,
I'm a champ, man.
Apparently.
Yeah, I don't fuck around.
Well, all right, now I'll catch up to you. I see you on the map.
I'm about ready to go. I'm gonna make my way back towards the stairwell here.
Yep, I'm heading that way now. Yep.
And I'm gonna go see what's up in this area here.
I think that's another one of those shows that it's I feel like there's a lot of people who are like, I don't know if I can deal with a Marvel show. Like, I got enough Marvel content from the movies. Oh, here we go. How did we miss this shit? We found the Far Oasis. Oh yeah. Another waypoint over here.
Oh, cool. I need to get over there and check that shit out. Oh, there it is.
But a lot of people, I always see people complaining about, oh, there's too many Marvel movies. I can't keep up. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah,
Marvel has been producing at least 20 comics a week for like fucking 40 plus years. Like, and I read a handful of them. Like, it's their thing is serialized storytelling. Mm-hmm. That's what they're about. Like, it's about ongoing stories that never really end, that you're constantly getting a piece of. And I would argue TV is a better place for most Marvel stories to live than movies. Mm-hmm. Like, movies are like the equivalent of like an event comic that's like a couple issues. Like but like the stuff where the real character development happens is like the ongoing series. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the TV shows are really kind of been showing how much better they are at handling that sort of content.
Mm-hmm.
At least for my taste.
Yep. I would be in agreement with a lot of that.
Like I would say Winter Soldier kind of does it in the same way for those characters as the Loki show that I mentioned earlier does for that character. Like the more screen time you give those characters and more scenes those actors have to chew on, the more opportunity you have to get cool stuff from those characters.
Yep.
And have more of an attachment. Like, I mean, I mentioned earlier X-Men. Like, there's like 7, 8 ongoing X-Men comics right now, and next year there might be more. Like, and I can't wait. I cannot wait.
What the fuck are those?
I don't know. They're like it's like a swarm of bugs, itchies,
like locusts.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'm not a fan. I'll be frank.
not into it. That's a hard.
What is that?
It's just that's a big dead bug I killed. You didn't see me murder that thing?
Shit, it is.
Holy but what's crap. That like smushed brain that's next to it? I don't like that either.
Know that nope. Wow.
Yep.
Intense shit here.
Yep. Don't. Oh, there's like a destroyed caravan and a bunch of corpses surrounding it. Well, I got a good idea. There's another of those giant fucking bugs up there. Jesus Christ. Kill these death beetles.
Sand maggot is what it is.
I hope I'm not blowing something that's later on your list. But have you seen Hawkeye yet?
Oh yeah, and you are blowing something that's later on my list.
Okay, then I'll wait. I'm absolutely going to get back to Winter Soldier and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Just I need to finish the other stuff and. I'll probably watch it with my wife. We just, we were watching it, and then other stuff came up, and we haven't gotten back to it.
No excuses.
I think it might be a little bit more my taste because it's very much just action-y, but the chemistry between those is very enjoyable. I think we both laugh a lot. They're very funny dudes together.
Yes, they are.
Was Wanda... Was the Scarlet Witch this year? WandaVision, or was that last year?
Yeah, it was this year.
Okay, because that's
butted up against. It butted up against Falcon.
Okay, because I really like that as well. That's neither one's on my list, but it was really good too.
I wasn't feeling that one so much. It didn't make the list.
Okay. Do you have any other thoughts you want to drop on Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I'm very interested in where they're going, and I didn't realize there was such a issue with Captain's legacy. Because one of the things that he says is that it's the history behind that shield is complicated.
Oh yeah, even in the comics, and I'm glad they touched on that.
Yeah,
like the experimenting with the minorities to try to create a new Captain America. Yeah. I mean, in the comics, the Weapon X project is an attempt to recreate another Captain America, another super soldier. It's the X is 10. It's the 10th attempt to create a super soldier.
Yep.
And that's what created Wolverine and Deadpool and Sabretooth. So. And in that case, they weren't using racial minorities; they were using mutants. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting and complicated stuff behind the shield, so to speak.
So it was an interesting thought process because, like I said, it wasn't touched upon in the past. You want this mana shrine over here? Do you need it?
I'm tapped out. I'm full.
Okay. Because I know we were kind of competing against the last one, so.
Yeah. My mana regenerates really fast, and I got a ton of potions, so.
There you go. Look at you, just Mr. Champion.
I am a champ. Thank you. Nice oasis here. I'm into this.
Hence the name. I think it was like, something with oasis in it. I know that much.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, it looks like we've been that way, so let's go this way.
I think the north here, yeah. The north.
I feel more skillful, Rich. What you got to say about that?
I'm glad you do. Jake, my number 4 is a kind of a broad one. And some of these I have to be broad because like there's no like in this case I'm listing Hasbro toy lines in general. I'm not collecting any one of them to an extent that I would label any one of them as a solo thing, but like Hasbro stuff as a general thing. Like their Transformers, they did a new Grimlock this year. They haven't done a classic Generation 1 Grimlock in over 10 years. It's fucking excellent and one of my favorite Transformers toys, official Transformers toys in ages. They did a Galvatron and Rodimus Prime and Hot Rod because they did some stuff from the animated movie. It's Rod because he's a hot rod. Oh. Get it?
I get it. I just thought it was Rodimus Prime, but maybe I'm wrong. What do I know? I don't know. I don't follow that shit.
Either way, those 4 Transformers right there are some of the best Transformers in ages. They're excellent. It's a brilliant continuation of the last few years of the War for Cybertron trilogy of toys. This year was Kingdom. And while it was predominantly focused on Beast Wars stuff, so I could skip most of it and not worry about it, they did a couple Generation 1 stuff in that line and in the other mainline studio series, which is movie focused. So they did the classic animated movie in there, and that's where I got my Grimlock. So that killed it. I haven't really been collecting the Power Ranger line this year because I already got all the main Mighty Morphin dudes, so I'm kind of covered on that. But they did this Power Rangers Ninja Turtles crossover, and I got a Red Ranger Raphael crossover figure, which is awesome. So my favorite Power Ranger color and my favorite Ninja Turtle in one. I love it.
You're not a Green Power Ranger fan?
I love the green. The original Green Ranger and the original Red are kind of tied to me. So they did a Green Ranger, but it's not out yet, and it's the Shredder. So next year, if I see it, I might get that one too because it's a Green Ranger. You know. We'll see. We'll see how next year goes. But they also did in Marvel Legends. I almost exclusively only collect X-Men because there's just too much Marvel stuff out. I can't get them all, and they only do like 2 X-Men waves a year. And I think of note in that they did another Age of Apocalypse, so I got an Age of Apocalypse Sabretooth, which I'm pretty excited about. Love it. They also did a couple waves of MCU stuff, and one of them was based on the Marvel, the Disney Plus stuff. And while I did not buy, the only one I bought was Sylvie from the Loki show. I really like it, but I liked seeing the other ones too. They did like a zombie Captain America, and I hate Marvel Zombies. I did not like that episode of the Marvel What If all that much, but it's an awesome looking action figure. Their execution is awesome. The Sylvie figure is an excellent likeness to the actress. It's a great figure. This year, the Star Wars Black Series 6-inch collector line has been around for like 10 years now, and the very first figure that they revealed at San Diego Comic-Con the year that they started was Boba Fett from Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, you're sucking his dick now.
Ever since then, I've been like, how long is it going to take them to do a Return of the Jedi Boba Fett? Well, this year, they finally fucking did a Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. It only took like 8 or 10 years, something like that. And so I'm not really buying much of any Star Wars stuff these days because they pretty much covered everybody I care about. But I had to get that Boba Fett because it's fucking Boba Fett. And in some ways, I was really irritated it took them so long to do it. But because they took so long, the tech and how they build these characters is improved and better. And like this one, just the range of articulation is better. The materials feels great. They've moved over to a digital printing technology for a lot of their like detail work. So all of the battle damage on the helmet and stuff looks. Oh, the maggot layer. Holy fuck, that sounds bad. So all the detail on the battle damage and stuff like that looks awesome and sharp and detailed. Like it's top tier. This thing is like a $20 figure that rivals like $80 figures. It's nuts.
Shit. She fucking like poisoned the shit out of me.
Oh, Yeah, so like this Boba Fett figure is like, it's stunning that Hasbro was able to do something at that quality that rivals stuff that's like 4 times the price. Like I'm not gonna say it's one of the best figures I owns, but it's one of my favorite. I love it. I almost want them to go back and redo the Empire Strikes Back one now. The Boba love isn't over yet because in this next year they're doing one based on the end of Mandalorian / the beginning of Book of Boba Fett. And they're doing one from The Mandalorian when he looks like a hobo. He's wearing like the black robes and stuff like that. So both of those are coming out sometime this next year. So there's 2 more Boba Fetts in my future.
Ooh, 2 more Boba Fetts, huh?
Yeah, but I don't know if any of them, like the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett is kind of, oh no, I'm not moving for some reason. Jake.
Yeah, you're probably trapped.
I'm stuck. Okay, now I can move. Yeah, I was trapped. So yeah, there might be more Boba in my future, but they did my favorite costume and it looks great. So, and then did they do anything else? Yeah, the GI Joe line I think I put on my thing last year is still excellent. It's GI Joe. It's probably one of the best toy lines in mass market. They did a convention exclusive Zartan that changes color, and it's awesome.
Jesus, I don't like this place.
Yeah, this is a bad time, Jake. This is nasty. We need to pick the same tunnel and stay because we're separated now, and it's a problem. Okay, I need those potions. Oh shit, I died. Okay, so I'm dead and back at the base. When you clear those things out, if you can portal back to the base so I can get back to where we died, that would be baller. Baller. People say that, right?
Something like that. Okay. Knock yourself out, sir.
Sweet. I'll wait for you to get here.
Didn't pick anything up I shouldn't have. Nope, because I didn't want those anyways.
Do you want to? How long have we been doing this? Do you want to stop and just kind of talk about Diablo now? I don't know if we played enough to kind of do like thoughts on Diablo and wrap up our top 10s, or do you want to dig through this dungeon more before we do that?
I'm a little indifferent at this point. I do know I need to identify some gear that I have to get back to town.
Okay, yeah, come back to. Oh, I need to jump in your portal to at least get that shit anyway. So.
That's why I casted it.
All right, now I just got to find where the portal is. Fuck.
Did you just rattle off your number 4 though?
Yeah, that was number 4.
So my number 4 was Loki. Nice. Yep. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I liked where they're going with it, and I'm definitely interested in what the M villain, where they're gonna go with that and how they're gonna, make that work.
Kang. It's gonna be interesting to see how they handle him.
Yep. And apparently they make a big deal out of him as an actor, so I don't know what to make of that, but it is what it is in a sense. So, did you get your shit yet?
No, I don't even know where the fucking portal is. I can't find the portal in town. Oh, all right. So it's on the east corner. Got it. I'm heading over there now.
There you go.
Yeah, I've already sung the praises of Loki, so I'll hold back on saying more on that.
I definitely, like I said, I definitely enjoyed it. There's a lot of interesting concepts with it. I will say, I'm not going to lie, I was a little disappointed as it was. I felt it was a little anticlimactic at a certain point in the game or in the show. But ultimately, I am not disappointed by any means. I just that's just kind of my own personal minor gripe / vent.
Got my gear. Thanks, man.
Yep. So I'm just it is what it is. But I'm not trying to be like critical of the show. I enjoyed everything about it. And I can't argue with the where they went with it. So
Oh yeah, it was quite a ride. My number 3 is the video game Disco Elysium. It is a I talked about it before on the show, but it's a detective RPG. It's something I had heard about years before, but it was on PC, and I don't really like playing games on PC if I can avoid it. I much prefer to play on my TV, and our PC isn't really up to playing anything super high end. So, like, it's an old PC; it needs updated. I've complained about that before. But it was. I did not realize before I played it what I was really going into, and what it is kind of genius. It's one of my favorite things about a lot of RPGs is the dialogue trees and skill checks systems, almost more than the combat. And that's all Disco Elysium is. It's just skill checks and dialogue trees. And so you have stats, but they're only involved in skill checks. So if you need to lockpick, you need to, if your lockpick is built up enough, or your strength to break down the door or something like that. But otherwise, it's just talking and trying to solve this mystery. And is your your stats based on how you build your character out just lead to wildly different outcomes and discussions and stuff like that. And it all feels very natural. And the fact that the character you're playing isn't overtly heroic, like he's kind of a piece of shit, is like every time you play a game, somebody who's like a badass and is super noble and kind of just like is a kick-ass stand-up dude. And even in the games where there's like a choice, right? Most of the time there'll be like these binary choices of do the good thing or do the bad thing. Like your character's backstory is still usually you're a stand-up dude and you're just choosing to be an asshole in that character's place. Or it's very binary. But in this case, this character is already fucked up. Like this character's backstory is that they're a fuck up. The beginning of the story is they fucked up bad. And there is points in the story where like it's not so much do the right thing or the bad thing, it's different degrees of fucking up, or how do you want to fuck this up? Do you want to fuck it up this way, or you want to fuck it up this way? But no matter what you're gonna do, you're gonna fuck this up.
Fuck it up.
Yeah, and that's kind of interesting because the guy himself is a goddamn train wreck. He's an alcoholic, drug addict, failure, and like who just cannot get over some things that's happened in his life, and it's. Trying to make that guy redeemable or lean into his irredeemability is kind of awesome. And in the mystery has a lot of really exciting twists and turns that I did not see coming. It's really, really funny. It's really, really heartfelt. It's honestly one of the best video gaming experiences I've ever played. And I highly recommend it to anybody who is interested in RPGs and is willing to play one that's not built around combat.
Okay.
So yeah, Disco Elysium is my number 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. Did you go back to the tunnels? Or are you gonna?
I'm still in town here, and I'm still just kind of. I wanted to get rid of some of the crap that I had.
Cool. Well, I think we should kind of shut down on the game end here, and kind of get ready to wrap up our last couple best of list items, and then kind of do our final thoughts on the game.
Okay.
Not final because we're totally going to play more of this game over the next couple months, but final for our year-end episode.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I mean, we can wrap it up. I mean, I just kind of cleared up my inventory a little bit here, so.
Sweet, cool. Well, we'll take a break. Or actually, give me your 3 before we take a break here.
Okay.
Do our pee breaks and get something to drink.
Number 3, Minecraft.
Ooh, yeah, good choice.
Since I know it's been around for ages. Okay, don't get me wrong. Okay, but that we really took off with that, and just ran with it. After our last year's drunk episode on this game, and since then granted, we're nowhere like. It's not like we were religious in playing it. In fact, if you really want to know, we've kind of taken a little bit of we've tapered off a bit since playing originally. I ran with it for the first probably good 4 to 5 months at least.
Yeah, you were constantly giving me updates on what you and your brother were doing, and I was jumping in and seeing how things were developing, and it was wild.
Yeah, it's getting like at this point we've done a lot, and they've actually the last update that they did is just stupid. And I mean, I don't want to say stupid in a derogatory way. I mean it, or like in a criticism. I just mean like, so they added an additional 60 layers down.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's down and up. So it's just blowing up like you wouldn't believe.
So the possibilities have just gone crazier.
Yeah, exactly. So they've added a few other like elements, like they've got copper in there, so you can actually like you can harness lightning and direct it if it ever occurs.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like through a lightning rod and then just run it along something. I mean,
so you can create electricity.
To an extent, yes. Redstone is more like for machinations, like if you wanted to create machines and stuff. Like we've got in the game right now, little brother created like a cow machine. So basically, it grows cows and slaughters them.
Oh my god. That is grim.
Yeah, he's also created a cobblestone machine that automatically creates cobblestone for you now, so you don't have to go out and mine the shit.
That's useful.
Yeah, it is. We've actually got a pretty robust farm at this point. I haven't dived into the pigs and whatnot too much anymore. But he's got a farming machine that he built as well. Or not farming, fishing machine. So you can actually like get fish pretty slick. I don't even know how that one works. But I mean,
I love how we got your brother obsessed with this game. Like, it's very fun.
Yeah, he's fucking off the chain. It's ridiculous, like what he's done.
We basically made your brother a giant dork.
Yeah, pretty much. Because yeah, he's just ran with it. Like the maps that he's discovered, and the biomes that he's seen, and he's got like out there now. I mean, we've got. I know there's at least 9 additional maps. At least, probably closer to 12.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous. There was one we went to there's a mushroom biome, okay? Mm-hmm. It's just purely like toadstools and mushrooms. And there's cows with toadstools on them.
What the fuck?
They're red and white, and they've got little toadstools on them. I don't know the specifics on how that works and how to what to do with them, but what the fuck? Okay. And
I don't know what's going on, but that's awesome.
Yeah, he has got one of the most unique animals in the game. It is very, very hard to get this. He's got a skeleton horse.
Oh, now. Neat.
And you can actually ride that thing through rivers and stuff. Okay, before, like with a regular horse, you can't do that. You got to have a lead to drag him along to traverse a river. But with him, this skeleton horse, you can just plunge right through. So it's but you can't. Like I said, that's something that you can't. It's really hard to harness because you have to have lightning strike the horse.
Did you just break a glass?
No, I just my phone fell.
Okay.
But yeah, I've got a mule, which is a big trophy item where you cross a donkey with a horse. I haven't like before. I was like doing some unique items and things. Like I've got like a I was playing with bees for the longest time. They're kind of a pain in the butt to work with. But yeah, I mean it's just some of the shit that he has done. Yeah, and now they've added new elements to it with this new update. So, like, I don't know if you remember when you got all the way down, but you eventually hit bedrock.
Yep.
And you couldn't mine after that. Well, they turned it into slate. So now it's like another mineral that they've added entirely.
I love that. That's cool. I hope that the fact that game keeps evolving is awesome. I'm glad. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for the hardcore players. Like it's. Mm-hmm. That's what you do with that sort of thing. Like you keep tweaking, you keep adding.
Yep. So now I have added another world to that game. I call it the cheat world. I haven't. It's not active at this moment, but it is a world that we can like just cheat the shit out of. I wanted to see what it was. I wanted to see what it was like to leverage those. So.
Okay, I still would love to know. I remember we were playing. We were playing together for a while, like in the early days, and we logged in one day, and we had found that somebody had logged into your island and built a crazy ass tower.
Yep, it's gone now,
and we still don't know who did it. It was like, who the fuck did it?
Yeah, and the cool thing was that he left a little sign that said "shove off" because you can't swear in the game.
Yeah, and so and it was like up in the tower on the top or something like that. And we're like, oh shit, that's how we knew it was a listener. And it was like, okay.
Yep. So that was pretty badass. But at this point,
love that. I absolutely love whoever did that. You fucking rule. That was fucking hilarious because it was me, Jake, and his brother all exploring this new thing. Like, what the fuck? Who did this? And then we got there, and me and Jake just cracked up. Like, awesome.
Yeah. Yep. So. But yeah, there's just so many things that we've done at this point. It's the greatest story though of the entire game that was accomplished was when we first started out, we were attached to a village. And,
oh right, yeah, I know.
And the eventually what happened was that we had pillagers that came on, and not knowing a damn thing, we were fucked. Okay, and I don't remember. I was fucked at the time, and I think I got back in, and they ended up killing all the villagers in the village, and we didn't have any villagers at all in this place. Okay, little brother. One, he harnessed a villager and brought him back to the village. He also converted a zombie back to a villager as well. And then he mated him. Okay?
It's like next level, like Chocobo breeding. You did it to villagers.
Yeah, he did it to villagers. And he created an entire village. There's like 25 villagers in this village now that are just operating and doing their thing, and they've got jobs, they do things, they handle shit,
That's nuts.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's just that's a feat in itself. If you don't know how to do that, that is, the bees were tough to work with. They're a pain in the butt. The skeleton horse is definitely really hard to do, but that's just one action. To build an entire village from scratch again that's a feat that I have to tip my hat to, because that is not easy to do. So
yeah, I can't imagine it is.
But yeah, that's number 3. I mean, he's done more and more. Like, we've discovered so much, like in all the other maps and everything. We've got like map rooms all across the freaking thing, and he's discovered like all of it. I helped a little bit, but not a lot. And we even have a second like village now that is totally protected. That is huge. That he's actually he mostly built out. I helped just a very 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 minuscule to it, but there's a second village now, Rich, that we actually have a base at.
That's crazy. I know you've talked to me about getting into the game one last time to take on the Ender Dragon, and I'm looking forward to doing that sometime.
Yep, and he's got it built out for us to do it. He's got diamond armor. The horses have diamond armor. We have diamond swords. They're all enchanted. He's got the bows with it. So I mean, it is. And I actually went and I heard like a rumor that if you collect snowballs, you could use them against the Ender Dragon, and they actually do considerable damage. We've got an army. We would like to get you in and build your army of like wolves.
Yeah.
So that you would have so you could be protected from the Endermen in case they attacked you.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to pick a weekend night or like a night one of these times to help me get the show on the road on that aspect, because that definitely sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, because even the Ender Dragon, that entire area is just swarmed with Endermen. So, it's going to be a fiasco. And then,
did you guys take a peek in that area already?
What's that?
Have you guys gone into that area already?
Well, little brother, I think, took down one pillar. There's 4 of them.
Okay.
So, I don't know about the others. He's got some tips that we have to do. Like before we jump into the portal, because you can't come back once you jump into the portal to get to the Ender Dragon. Yeah. He's got we're going to put beds there so you can, so if you do respawn, you can just jump right back in.
Beds in the fucking Ender Dragon area.
Well, just before you get into it, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, because you can't get out. Once you get out, you'll spawn back to your last location, and that's.
Oh right.
And that'll be fucking, all the way to.
Who knows?
Yeah, to back at the village and whatnot. And you don't want to do that. So.
No.
So there's beds that we'll have to carry with us. It's just going to be quite a fiasco, to be honest. So,
well, Jake, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so like Minecraft, that was a big one for us, or at least for me. And little brother just ran with it.
So number 3 is not only Minecraft for you, also seeing your little brother go crazy with it.
Yeah, pretty much is the case.
Sweet. All right, man, this is a good place to take that break.
Sure. We watch the world. Awesome.
Welcome back, Jake.
Yes, Rich.
I hope you had a good time playing Diablo.
How about you?
I did. And before we get into talk our thoughts on Diablo 2, it's probably time to wrap up our top 10s here really quick.
Sure.
My number 2 is the old Marvel and Marvel UK Transformers series. It just was really cool because it gave me a different look on a brand and story that I'm already intimately familiar with. Like, I'm so familiar with the original cartoon. I'm so familiar with the things that came afterwards, but I had never read the original comics. And there's a ton. And what they ended up doing was giving me an appreciation for the writer Simon Furman, who I had read some of his later Transformers stuff before, but never the stuff that made him, like, he's looked at as like one of the best Transformers writers of all time because of his original 80s comic book work. So it was really cool to read that. It gave me a different appreciation of some characters that I otherwise did not really care about that much, like Galvatron. Right. Like, Galvatron as a character, I think he's cool, he's fine, he's a cool villain or whatever, but the way he's written in those comics as just a complete fucking nut job is really entertaining. Like, he's just like, and he's written like this, like, complete fucking maniacal badass. Like, he's out of his fucking mind and indestructible and overwhelmingly strong, and it makes him way more threatening than he ever is in like the cartoons or any other comic series. And so, like, I appreciate that character more than I did before. Grimlock and the Dinobots get some good highlights in it. They were like fan favorites in Marvel UK stuff, so it's always good reading more with those characters, and that's part of what inspired me to go back and like rebuy those unofficial Gigapower Dinobot Masterpiece scaled ones I had mentioned earlier in the show as one of my favorites, because that like reinvigorated my love of those characters and made me think of like, and I think I've said this on a previous episode, but it like made me like, based on how they're portrayed in Marvel UK and some of the other later comic book stuff, like it kind of, I put like our friend group, like the chat group with George and Jason and Steve and you and me, I like ended up kind of putting our personalities, grafting them onto these characters. And so like I care about I'm even more like have more of an affinity for those characters than I did before. And now whenever I walk by my shelf that I have those figures on, I like have this like, yeah, that's my boys ready to kick some ass. And a lot of that is due to this Marvel run. So it's just it was one of my favorite reading experiences of the last year. So
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And I got the entire fucking thing for a song on Comixology when they were all on sale. So it was a huge bonus. And then I went back and bought physical copies of most of them. So yeah,
wow.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it enough to not only own it digitally, but add it to my my shelves. So
well, my number 2 is the series Hawkeye.
Shit, yes.
Yes.
Have you finished it?
Yes, I did finish it.
Okay. Me and my wife have not watched the last episode yet, but I'm hoping to.
Okay, so I'm not going to spoil it for you, but yes, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Especially that the last episode that you saw with the introduction of Kingpin.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. Gosh, Vincent D'Onofrio is just, he plays that character so well.
I'm not going to spoil other Marvel content that you haven't seen yet, but let me tell you something. I'm really happy that the Netflix Marvel characters are being folded more into like MCU stuff again. Like, it's good to see those guys again. I'm really happy.
Yeah, I'm stoked about the rumors associated with Charlie Cox. And some of those. All
I can say is the Charlie Cox stuff is not rumors.
Okay. I figured as much, but along with I'm curious. I really want to see Spider-Man. Okay, I just haven't had time to do it.
Yeah, I hope you're able to see it soon. It's worth it. But back to Hawkeye, it's a very
Hawkeye.
different take than what that story is in the comics. I think I've mentioned that on a previous episode, but it's still very good. Like, there's enough elements of that story that it's coming from that I see where it came from, but it's tweaked to fit this version of Hawkeye in a way. And I like this Kate Bishop. Like, that's a character I always liked in the comics, and I like this version of her too. So
she's very likable in the show. So
I think she's just a likable actress in general too. Like, she was the
Haley Steinfeld's amazing.
Yeah, she was the lead in the Bumblebee movie. So
Yep.
She's a Transformers alum, so I already
just because of that, she's got it in with you now.
Yeah, basically, she's like, all right, you were friends with Bumblebee, you're all right.
I see. So does that mean Mark Wahlberg is got an in with you too then?
I mean, unfortunately, yeah. Like, I like Mark, so he already had an in with me because of his work in Boogie Nights. But yeah.
Okay. But yeah, Hawkeye, I thought was an amazing show. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It does not disappoint. So, now I will say that there are some things there are things that I am disappointed about it, but it's not because of the story. Okay, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Okay. But yeah, that was a finale. I'll say it again. That was a phenomenal casting choice to have Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. He's amazing. I enjoyed him in Daredevil, and I thoroughly enjoyed him in Hawkeye as well. So
I'm really glad that he gets enough. He gets a chance to shine in Hawkeye. I think the whole cast in Hawkeye is pretty good. So
yeah, it's pretty solid.
I'm not crazy about Jeremy Renner in general, but I think this character they've created for this version of Hawkeye is compelling to me. So,
and I'm actually the exact opposite. I like Jeremy Renner. Yeah. I do enjoy him as an actor. He brings a lot of interesting elements when in a lot of his characters. That are very intriguing to me, and I was always waiting for some sort of what's the word, where they took, how all the other characters, they seem to have, with the exception of maybe Black Widow a little bit, because she didn't get her feature film until much later. But I was really waiting for Hawkeye to get one as well, because to me, it's a very interesting character, just on a general basis, especially with the introduction of Ronin. So
yeah, I think they lean into that in the series very much. The whole, like, he's a family guy who has a dark skill set.
Yes.
And they deal with the trauma of this otherwise guy who wants to be a regular guy having to go through the shit that the Avengers have gone through and the loss associated with that. That, like,
and then they dive into the character, and they offer a kind of a different perspective of a quote unquote hero.
Yeah, the guy he's there because it was like he didn't want to be there. It was almost a job.
Right.
Like, he's the guy. He's the one Avenger who would have preferred not to be a hero.
Yeah, well, and he never viewed himself as a hero or a role model, for that matter.
Yeah.
So, and that was kind of it was a concept or a direction that I didn't really completely think about. So, but yeah, Hawkeye, good show.
Yeah, good choice. Good choice. My number one is the podcast Cerebro. It is an X-Men podcast about a gay dude bringing on a mostly a queer audience to talk about characters. Like, every episode is character focused rather than most X-Men podcasts kind of do what we do, where they pick a chunk of issues and they read through them and then they go back and talk about them. And this one's just like, today we're going to talk about X-Men or Iceman or Emma Frost. They just recently did an episode about fucking Exodus. And if you know who Exodus is, then you are an X-Men reader, and high five to you. If you don't know who Exodus is, listen to this episode because it's fucking hilarious. It's very, very funny. It offers a perspective that I don't think is talked about a whole lot, just by like everybody always kind of like X-Men are an allegory for this, this, and the other, you know.
Sure.
But it's not really dug into a whole lot beyond like surfacey, like this, they mean this. But nobody really talks about why and how they fit these allegories, how they fit these minority, like in what ways these characters can be interpreted as such, you know. And so hearing people talk about that is interesting because I don't hear it very much, and it's given me appreciation of characters that I did not appreciate much before, or different appreciation of characters I already did appreciate. Like, so it's been, and just on top of that, the host and his guests are fucking hilarious, and they have excellent chemistry. It's highly recommended. If I could recommend any episodes, I would recommend probably the ladies mastermind episode, because the fucking train wreck. Any episode where Anthony Oliveira guests is fucking hilarious because they're exes, and it always comes up every time that they've fucked.
Jeez.
and like you wouldn't think that's relevant, but it somehow comes up every time, and it's very funny every time.
Gotcha.
And just like the host and all of his guests are thoughtful, intelligent. They have really interesting, provoking opinions, and I don't necessarily agree with all of them, but that's not the point of listening to something like that. You're hearing a different opinion, a different perspective on something, and
Sure.
I like that. I have not laughed more listening or watching anything all year than this show. It just released its 57th, 58th, 59th, something like that episode this year, and I've listened to every single one of them this year. And it kind of did the same thing. You remember that period of time where we ballooned out of control with our episode lengths? At 61, Jesus fucking Christ. 61 episodes. I listened to all 61 this year. It started late last year. And the episode ranges from like 2 hours to 4 hours.
Oof.
So, my empathy that goes out to this dude. He's been going at it like crazy. He actually reached this point where he's like, I can't keep this up going weekly. And I was like, dude, I know. That's nuts. Even try.
Yes.
So it's not a weekly show, nor should it be. You get it when you get it, and it's always good. So
okay.
It's the damn Chocobo philosophy. Highly recommended. Highly recommended.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, my number one would be the Venom movie, Let There Be Carnage.
Oh shit! Surprise.
Yep.
Venom is usually my jam. Oh, but you like Carnage. That's right.
Yes, I like Carnage. And Carnage, there are elements to that movie that I don't agree with, but just the fact that it has Carnage in it, kind of like how you feel about like a Daredevil movie or a Wolverine movie, or, you know, something that has your favorite character in it, or a Boba Fett movie, you know.
Oh yeah.
You would just be like, I got it. That's awesome. You know,
as long as they look right or close and do cool shit, you can forgive a lot.
Yes, and that's exactly what's taking place here. I mean, there's some elements that I do not agree with in that movie as far as keeping the character, you know, based on what it was originally created for. But the other thing was the fact that Woody Harrelson is an amazing psychopath. Okay, yes. I mean, I saw Natural Born Killers, and he just he's scary good when he's playing that role. And he does not disappoint with the content that he is given in that film, as far as Let There Be Carnage.
I mean, he's an actor who knows how to chew the scenery. So
yes, and he does. Like I said, he just does not disappoint. Now, there are elements that I did not like about the way they took the character, in a sense. But ultimately, I mean, between all of the things that take place And even Venom, he has, you know, his shy moments around Carnage, because Carnage is supposed to be more powerful than he is. And yeah, it's just it's awesome in every true sense of the word. So
they just put that out on demand recently,
okay.
so I will be seeing that during my break here within the next week.
Oh, you haven't watched it yet?
I haven't yet, no.
Oh, I thought you did.
Nope, not yet.
Oh man, I'm glad I didn't spoil anything for you then.
I mean, there's Venom and there's Carnage, and they're going to fight, and inevitably Venom wins. So,
I mean, don't get me wrong, they very, very, very loosely base it off of Maximum Carnage.
Really? Okay.
Yes, very. I want, and I'm saying very loosely because Shriek is in it.
Okay. So there's that relationship pulled in.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, and now, I like I said, it's not like by any means verbatim, but there are a lot of elements that I kind of take into account with it. The only difference is that they don't have, you know, Captain's not in there, you know, all these other characters as far as trying to take down Carnage.
The guest characters, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it is, like I said, it's an intriguing film, and they do a lot of interesting facets with it. So,
sweet.
I loved every second of it. It did not disappoint me. I'm a little concerned about some of the characters' origins that they tried to do, but ultimately, like they tried to stay as what's the word, as true as they could to an extent. So, but yeah. So
nice.
Yep.
Well, Jake, now that we've covered our top 10s,
yep,
I think it's time to start talking about Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo. I kind of talked about it earlier in the show, but
quick history on Diablo for us. My history with Diablo is kind of comes in two directions. One, original Diablo, I watched you play on your dad's PC when we were in high school a few times.
You actually saw that? I didn't think you
did. I did. Yeah. Just a couple times, and we did not for lengthy periods of time, but like, you know, a half hour here and there. And I thought it looked cool, and you told me about it and how it works. So I was like, I understand what Diablo is now and how it kind of works vaguely. And then I also saw a little bit of Diablo 2 from a friend of mine's younger brother bought it, and he bought that like deluxe collector's edition when it originally came out, and it came with a DVD of all the cinematics. And I was like, wow, you mean the cinematics look so good they put them on a fucking DVD so you could watch it like a movie? That's nuts. And that was kind of the extent of it. I saw a little bit of Diablo 3 from other friends, but I never partook because I always thought of it as a PC franchise. And but it's something I've always been interested in because I saw you play it. I knew somebody else who was into it. I thought the aesthetic was cool. And when Diablo 3 came out on consoles, it had come up in our discussions years ago about possibly co-oping it, but it never came to fruition. So when they released when I heard about this Diablo 2 remake, I was like, that is a fucking game I'm gonna play with Jake come hell or high water. It's fucking gonna happen. So it didn't take too much pushing to make happen, thankfully.
No, it didn't.
That is kind of the extent of my Diablo, my pre-history with Diablo.
Okay. Well, I have a much more extensive history with Diablo. So originally, we actually played it on PlayStation, believe it or not, starting out. And the original PlayStation, that is. Both me and my buddy Miles at the time, who introduced me to it, and we would just go hacking away at it, you know, just trying to get as deep as we could. We didn't really we didn't consider all the facets of the game. Okay. At the time, as far as the original Diablo, we didn't consider like a whole lot of character progression or anything along those lines. We were just trying to get to the bottom of this damn thing, all 15 levels of it.
Yeah.
Actually, I think there's 16 now that I think about it. But yeah, and the most that we can make in one sitting was I think we've a couple of times we got to like 9, because it's a beast to try to get through all those levels in one sitting. It is not an easy shot. I mean, we're talking probably 6 hours at least.
Yeah.
So, and then we eventually found out like they didn't have waypoints like you do in Diablo 2, but they did have little shortcuts that you can get into, and kind of so you didn't have to play from 1 to 9 or 1 to 12, 15 all the time.
So you could move around and go back to the beginning or whatever and restock or something and save and everything.
Well, you could always town portal.
Okay.
But when it came down to, let's say like for instance, you've been playing, for a considerable amount of time, right? And you saved your game and you went back to, it would take you back to town or whatever. Well, you didn't want to have to go through all 9 levels or 8 levels again to get back to where you were. So they offered little shortcuts. It wasn't waypoints, but they offered like, as each level, there was like a group of levels. So like it was like 1 through 3 was a level, 4 through like 8 was another, and then 9 through like 12 was another kind of area, if you would. And then you had Hell itself, which was like 12 through 15 or 16. I think it was 16 levels, but yeah. So you had that whole spiel, right? And eventually, what happened was we discovered that it was on PC, and I started playing it on online with Miles. And we didn't play a whole lot. I mean, it was like maybe a handful of times that we actually played together. But it was something that we played. And then eventually, I got even deeper into it. And when I went down to Georgia, that was pretty much the game I played the entire time I was there. And there was a couple of times where I played with a cousin of mine in the process, but I was so like obsessed with the game that I just blew past him, and he never had time to really set aside to play with me because he was a dad. Sounds kind of familiar. And he was running a business and all this other crap. So yeah, he just didn't get into it as much as he could have. So, but I eventually discovered the duplicate trick that you could do. It's a glitch in the game that you can take advantage of, where if you try to pick up, like you would accumulate gold, but it wasn't like in Diablo 2 where they kind of set it aside into another area, so to speak. This gold took up spots in your inventory. Okay?
Oh shit.
So, with that in mind, you could accumulate one box, like you've seen in the inventory, was 5,000 gold. Okay. That's the most that you could get in that one box. Well, you could duplicate the shit out of that and get some killer items out of the store through that process. So, and a lot of times what I would do, I didn't even bother like doing some serious leveling or anything like that. I would just duplicate my gold to the point where I would find an item that I liked, get the item, and then move on through life. And then the store changed every time that you leveled up. So, I don't know if that holds true with Diablo 2, but I do know it held true in Diablo 1. That, or you could just jump out of the game and jump back in, and you'd have a different store then as well. So
I'm sure there are ways to force a store refresh.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you had that process. But anyways, yep. So I played that the summer of my senior year, or the summer I graduated. And that's where I beat the game, believe it or not. And I beat it with a wizard, ironically enough, which is the easiest way to do it in a sense. Second here.
Just because I assume the wizard just gets really powerful or something like that.
Oh yeah. He's like the necromancer almost. I mean, you can set up flame walls that they have to walk through. Okay, just across the screen. Just
nice.
Yeah, just crazy shit that you can do with it. And in Diablo 2, there's a point where I saw that my buddy, I think it was Diablo 2, where he actually just rained down like ice on things. But I think you have to be a wizard to do that, and it takes some working and whatnot. But point being that I have a serious history with Diablo. I never did start playing Diablo 2. Part of the reason was because it was a PC game and I wasn't really interested in PC all that much. I don't know if it ever really actually released for the PlayStation 2, because at that point that's where it would have went. And the my father at the time hated me playing Diablo. He hated me playing any game because it would kill the machine and I'd have to restart the machine every time that we would after I got done. And he hated doing that. So
that's so weird.
But and that was part of the reason why I kind of hesitated against getting other games, with the exception of Final Fantasy 11.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I didn't get, and so at that point, I never did transcend through the rest of the series to 2 or 3 for that matter. So this is a new experience for me as far as 2. But I have a deep background. I know about the Butcher and the was it Grisholm? I think is Griswold. I think his name is he was the previous blacksmith of the town that we went to, and you saw me freak out a little bit when they introduced the town, and you rescued Deckard Cain. You didn't have to do that, but he identifies items for free then. So
nice.
But yeah, there's just a little bit of. It was nice to have a little bit of a taste of the retro there for myself, even though you didn't really notice it so much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was enjoyable, and I'm curious of where they're going from here with it. The story was very loose in the original game. I mean, it was pretty much they had a few items that you had to go through. You had to kill some of his followers as far as Diablo was concerned. I remember, I think there was one that was named Lazarus that you had to kill. He was like a high priest of some sort of Diablo that you had to go after, and he wasn't easy to kill. And then Diablo himself was a pain in the ass. This is part of the reason why I elected to do the wizard instead of try to get, because you just get, in the original, you would just get, if you were a barbarian or a rogue, you would just get surrounded, and there wasn't much you could do in that scenario, if you get just purely surrounded by enemies and you got Diablo sitting in front of you, there's just, you had to pull, as far as the tactic was concerned, pull enemies out to take them on one by one, because otherwise you barely lasted a chance against Diablo himself at that point anyways, let alone his minions on top of you. So But yeah, I eventually, I beat it, and with the wizard, I never did. I don't think I ever actually went with it with the rogue or the barbarian. I tried a couple of times, but it's just so many enemies, and you don't have any help. So you had to take it down. Now I don't think I've ever played it on Nightmare. I think I played it a little bit harder, but not Nightmare. Nightmare's a completely different level there. That's something else. So.
Still
Takes
very
a special
cool
person to play that. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's my history on Diablo. Never played the second one or the third one. I was always curious about them, but never committed thought to action. So
still very cool. You've got a lot. You've had a lot of experience.
Yep.
With it. So very, very cool. What let's get into the remaster here. What do you think?
It's interesting. I mean, I don't really have much to compare it to because I never played the original, but
yeah,
I'm enjoying it. A lot of the same facets are occurring in it versus the first. Basically, it's just everything has been blown up in a sense and added on, as I was stating earlier in the episode. There's so much more expansion and the ability to have unique items and build your own items in a sense. Which I'm very, very curious about and wondering how far and how far I can stretch that system and take advantage of it if you can in fact break it, so to speak, and nerf the game in a sense as far as getting some items, because I would totally be interested in that and finding out how to do it.
I mean, I think that's kind of the point of these sorts of games, is getting so powerful statistically and gear wise that it breaks it, and you have to go to a higher difficulty level to make it a challenge again, and then you get new gear and more shit to break it.
Just perpetuates itself is what you're saying.
Yeah, I can see. I think I have two notable thoughts about it so far, and one is that we don't really know what the fuck's going on, and what little I do know that's going on is cool. But like the story is, they give you just like the bare minimum of just like cool story cinematics between chapters, and dudes you talk to kind of give you big lore drops. But they're kind of in a co-op situation. Those lore drops are hard to kind of stick with, because you're constantly rushing to get to the new thing because you're doing a co-op thing. You don't want to leave your partner bored sitting while you read something. Right, so I know there's a lot of stuff to read. I could totally know what's going on because all these characters have some well-written dialogue and well-voiced dialogue to listen to read, to whatever you want to go about it. We're not really taking the time to dive into that because of the way we're playing this game. And I think that's perhaps a shame. Then maybe I'll want to go back and kind of just refresh on all that, because I think it's good and what little I know is interesting. It's not conductive to a co-op experience. And so that like there's this thing that I want to appreciate that is difficult to, because of the way I'm enjoying the game, which is I wouldn't enjoy this game if I was playing it by myself. I would be very, I like loot games. To me, I'm not like, there are people who get into like an addictive cycle with that stuff, always looking for the next exciting thing. But that's not really how I play video games. Like, I don't get excited about loot. I would rather get one awesome thing that shows up every once in a while versus a gajillion things constantly I have to sift through. And that's just my taste. Like, I hate having to constantly compare minor details. I would rather just like give me one major upgrade every once in a while, kind of like an old school Final Fantasy. Like that's more my taste. But because I'm playing a co-op with you, it's still fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Just mechanically, like, it would not. I don't get a dopamine hit from that sort of mechanic. Gameplay wise, though, I think it's a fun game. It still plays. It's a really tight RPG. Sometimes I find it hard to tell what you're doing as a player, especially when things get chaotic. My character as an assassin is more melee focused. So I kind of need to get all up in people's grill to do most of my stuff. And when there's a lot of dudes, it's really hard to follow what's happening, you know?
Right.
Like, that's not so much a major criticism as much as just like, well, like, fuck, am I just losing the character on the screen? Am I engaging with this encounter wrong? Like that sort of thing.
Yep. I mean,
but in a co-op, but as we're playing co-op, that stuff is still fun, because then those are just like, oh shit, what's happening? You know, like we both kind of like, oh no, like, let's get out of this insane situation that 50 skeletons just came out of nowhere and just jumped us.
That's when you start trying to bottleneck them from one room to
exactly.
the next. Yeah. Or you start trying to pull, a train. Another tactic.
Yeah.
So
we've been having a lot of fun with that, and I've been enjoying the experience, of playing it.
Good.
I almost feel like I wish I had more hotkeys, because now I'm developing too many abilities to put on my character at once.
Sure.
So it's like it almost encourages you as a player to not invest into more abilities than you can equip at once, because otherwise you're losing like ability points, right? Like you could have invested, instead of spreading it across 8 abilities, you could invest twice the amount of because you can. For people who are listening and haven't played Diablo, there's like a skill tree, and you as you level up, you get access to more of the skill tree that you can invest points and unlock those skills, or you can take those skills and put them on a skill you already unlocked and make that skill more powerful.
Right.
So it'll be like a percentage damage increase or more effects or something added to it. So it's like, would you rather have 8 abilities at their base level or 4 abilities all at their second strength level or something like that?
Right. Yep.
And so I assume you can kind of reallocate your stuff at some point. So at first you just try everything out, and then later you go back and kind of get all your points back and double down on the skills you actually want to use.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think it might cost you a little coin, but I think you visit that one witch, and I think she gives you that ability or does that for you.
I think so.
So. Yeah. So enjoyable, fun. I like it.
I kind of wish. Sometimes it's hard to tell when you're facing a boss, right?
Sometimes. I mean, all you got to do is look for the unique. So.
Well, it's like, I guess every once in a while we fought something that is like, is this a boss or is it just like a regular enemy that we haven't seen yet? And it's like, nope, it's hitting hard, and it's got its name tag is different.
Yeah.
And that's how you can kind of identify, oh yeah, it's a boss. Okay. I'm dead now. Resurrect me back.
Yep, and that happened one time tonight. So
it would not be a round of Diablo without me dying like a complete idiot at some point, and you needed the portal back to town so I can get back and pick up my body. That's a mechanic that I think a lot of people find very irritating, and I could find it irritating if it wasn't for the fact that we were playing together and we kind of have an easy out.
Yeah.
It's not very player friendly, leaving all of your gear on your corpse, but there's something about that I like. If that makes sense to you, like it makes everything, there's stakes, you know?
Yep, absolutely. So, and what can really bust your bubbles if you're not playing with a friendly player?
Your
loot.
Yeah, and then you're totally that would suck. Or if you were that would suck ass, like if you just teamed up with some rando online, which you can totally do.
Yeah.
If you're playing by yourself and you get really, really far away and you haven't found a save point or a checkpoint and you die, and then you have to hoof it all the way back by yourself.
One of the things that really, really irritated me about the first Diablo was the fact that you could do PKing, player killing, and there was people that actually did it, and
there's community
totally looted the shit out of me. And they did it in town.
What a cock.
Yeah, you can't do that in town anymore. But in the first one, you could. I actually had that happen to me. I was like, fuck, you know? At least I think I did. Maybe I'm wrong. But I distinctly remember someone taking an ear while I was in town. So, but yeah, it was stupid. I hated it. And eventually I think there's like a setting that you could do to use to turn it off, so you couldn't have PKing. But yeah, when you did a
player killing for people who are unfamiliar.
Yeah. Whenever you did kill a player, you would get an ear. I don't know what you're supposed to fucking do with it, but you got one.
It's probably just a counter or something, just how many people you've taken.
Maybe. I don't know what the hell you would do with it, because you didn't have a loot box like you do in this game.
Yeah.
You know, or I shouldn't say loot box, but a treasure chest to put shit in. You didn't have that.
Oh, it's just a counter. It's just I've killed this many people and I'm gonna hold on to it. Maybe there was a stat bonus with it or something.
I don't know. I didn't see any stat bonuses, but yeah, you could only carry what was on your inventory, and that was the end of it. You didn't have anything else. So, but yeah, so that was one of the things that I really disliked when I discovered it, and I was like, holy crap. And that made it so I didn't want to play with anybody at all, period.
Oh, that's a very Jake way to handle things.
So that's what I did. You know, I only played by myself. I didn't, and the thing about it was I had online characters, so I always just locked down my game so no one else could play. So, but yeah, so
Yeah,
I don't know what it's like. I don't know what the second one's like, if you can do PKing at all or not. But
almost certainly, right? There has to. I bet you.
I have to bet there is, but
yeah.
I know it's not a very,
I know in a lot of those
probably wouldn't appreciate that.
There's a lot of in those sorts of games that allow that sort of thing. People set up rooms specifically for combat for that sort of situation.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Diablo 2, I enjoyed it. It's fun,
Yeah, good game. Into it. Loving it. I'm trying to think. I don't really have anything else to add. I feel like we talked about everything while we were playing, but
Yep.
It's very good. It simultaneously holds up really well and is dated. Like it feels like old school while we're playing it. But I still am enjoying it quite a bit,
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, Rich, good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. I'm into it. I got nothing else to add other than it's good.
Yes, it's good. And you can tell people to fuck off.
Okay, can you tell people to fuck off in game?
Well, no, not really. But I suppose you probably want to tell us what people, or want to tell them how to contact us, right?
Yeah. If you want to comment, contact us in any way. Comment on the show, comment on our regular episodes, which would probably make more sense, honestly. You can contact us at...
Oh, that's where I was supposed to chime in.
Yeah. We haven't drank that much, Jake.
damchocobo@gmail.com is one of the locations.
Sweet. And or you can contact us at damchocobo at the big social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter.
We have a LinkedIn site now?
Oh wait, not sorry. Damn, maybe we have to. I have been drinking a little. Like I'm feeling it. I'll admit that. Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook.
There you go.
Yeah. Sometimes we like to shout people out when they message us, and so recently I got a shout out from Carlos on Instagram.
Woo-hoo.
Is that my dude?
Carlos.
Yeah, thanks, man. I don't know if you want me giving any more details on that, but thanks for reaching out. I appreciate it. Always good to hear. He thanked us for some of the musical choices that I occasionally throw on the end of episodes, and
nice.
On normal episodes. I don't know. I'll try to stick one on this one too, if I remember. I don't. we don't normally do so on these episodes, but I will this time.
Ooh, you're gonna make an exception. Wow.
Yeah, I will, Jake. Hopefully people enjoyed our top 10s. Hopefully they enjoyed us playing something other than Final Fantasy. Is there anything that you couldn't fit in your top 10s, but you still want to kind of give a shout out on for 2021?
I can't. I know I thought of a few there as we were talking, but I can't think of them now.
Music this year, there was... When I look at my Spotify year-end list, there was stuff like the new Rob Zombie album, the new AFI that came out this year, and I apparently listened to a fuck ton, but neither one of them stuck with me. There's some other new music that came out that I apparently listened to a lot, but it just didn't. There wasn't any single artist or album that came out this year that I was fucking obsessed with, which I think is crazy. Tribulation's newest was the closest. But even then, like, it didn't crack my top 5. I think one song got in my top 10. So it's just like very weird that nothing took over my my music playlist. Like, honestly, Ghostmain, who I got into late last year, and that whole like trap metal scene, probably carried over more into this year than anything new from this year did. And there's a lot of games I played this year, not as much as before I had kids, but outside of Disco Elysium and the fucking what's the F game, Fortnite, nothing really like took over. Like Resident Evil Village, I really enjoyed, but I think the times that I played those games, and Village in particular, like I was being interrupted so much by my family that I didn't get to sink my teeth into and appreciate, and that kind of sucks. But I wish that they were. And then just I haven't seen a lot of movies or TV like this year that I wish I did. You know?
Yeah, COVID didn't really help our cause any either in that
That's
capacity.
absolutely.
So.
Yeah, like I really like Justice League, but like not enough to make my top 10. I just saw Spider-Man this last week. It was really good, but it wasn't necessarily enough to crack the top 10 or something. My top 10 or something like that. So, I talked a lot about statues earlier in the year, like falling into that, and I can't put that like that's been on my mind a lot, and I think it's potentially a big deal. I think that's possibly more of a next year thing because I haven't gotten a lot of the big statues that I'm excited about. So while it's been something I've thought about this year and I've already put a lot of money into, I haven't gotten the end products yet for a lot of it. So I suspect that's going to show up in 2022. I will probably be talking about my statue collection getting out of hand.
There you go. Yeah, something to think about.
Yeah, and that's all like stuff that like I thought that like were kind of like potentials, and then at the end of the day, it was like, nah, none of this really cracks the top 10. So yeah, that was 2021, guys. Hopefully y'all have a happy holidays and a kick-ass new year.
Yeah.
Is that it, Jake? You got nothing else? You're just gonna fucking go out that
Fuck off, man.
Oh, that's right, everybody. Fuck off. Well, Jake.
Well, Rich.
Do you have a dedication from Diablo? Or 2020? You know what? This is the year-end episode. It doesn't have to be from Diablo. You can this episode can be dedicated to something from 2021.
I haven't really, I'm gonna mix it up, and I'm not gonna have a dedication for once. I mean, what do you think about that? Huh?
I'm a little. This episode is dedicated to 2021 in general.
Nice.
There you go.
But yeah.
Sweet. Well, Jake, I will catch you next time, everybody. We're going to be hitting you with another Final Fantasy Tactics episode sometime in the near future. It's going to feature the main character, Cloud.
Cloud is not the main character of Final Fantasy Tactics.
For my team, he is. Yes, the next episode. I think we said in the previous regular game episode, we're going to be playing through more side quest stuff and up through, I don't know, we probably said on the last Tactics episode. So listen to that. We've been playing it lately and having a great time. Tactics rules.
Yes, it does. It rocks.
This episode is dedicated to Final Fantasy Tactics for kicking ass. I almost put that on my top 10.
Jeez.